Okay, we are live. Welcome to Tamarah's Closet. Joining me today is local singer Evin Gibson. He is an award-winning singer, songwriter, model, and actor who fuses together pop with R&B and soul. He's worked with many noted artists throughout the years, and he's toured the world performing original and classic gems. And his plans are to make music timeless, or timeless music, I should say. And so I'm going to ask him a little bit about that too. So welcome to Tamarah's Closet, Evin.
Hi, hi, hi. Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here because I know we tried this a few months back and had some technical problems. So it's good to finally get you here.
Yeah, it feels good to
So,
be here. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Well, I'm going to jump right in. I wanted you to share a little bit about, did you come from a background of singers? Were your parents or anybody in your family musicians or any artist of any sort?
Yeah, actually, I come from a very big family, and my family is known for singing. Actually, we were raised in a church, and my grandfather was a pastor, and of course, we'd go when we had to go to church with them, and we'd sing. But our entire family basically sang, and we come from a family that didn't have much, but when we got together, we all would come together and just make songs, make music, and harmonize with each other. And it was just always such a great sound. And I think it's one of the staples in our family, actually, singing and music and just rejoicing and fellowshipping together. It's one of the staples of our family. That and food as well. We love food, but but all of that is just like it's our staple in our family. Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, did do you play any instruments at all, or did you when you were a kid, or?
As a kid, I didn't play many instruments. I now play the piano a little bit and a little guitar, not much. But other than singing and writing and producing, I don't really play. I'm not a on a big scale of playing. I can't play like any big instruments by myself, of course.
Right.
But I play the piano a little bit. I can make a little tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you remember most in your childhood? What was your first experience with music? Like when you started noticing it and that it meant something to you, and what type of music was it?
Well, I've always listened to music from my parents would always play really great old school music like that Motown stuff and Jackie Wilson and all that stuff. And I've always loved music. I always thought, it was an escape for me because as a kid, I would get picked on sometime, being skinny, just different little reasons people pick on people. So it was kind of like an outlet for me just to kind of get away from everything and just dive into music. But when I really realized, I remember one day I was singing at my grandmother's house and I was just singing, humming something. I can't even think of what the name of the song was. And my cousin heard me and she was like, "Oh, you got a little voice on you." And I remember that moment because from then I was like, maybe I can sing a little bit. And so since then I've been kind of like, just singing and doing what I do.
Good. Well, now in your bio or somewhere, there's something you sent me. You singing gospel in South Carolina. How old were you when you started that? Or
It was my sisters and I. My mom had us singing gospel songs, and we had a little group, and we'd go and travel. We got to work with one of the guys from the Drifters. He helped. He was like a vocal coach
oh,
to us. Then it was really cool, and we'd go around. And my mom, she was on us about singing and going out and just really doing things. We do a lot of talent shows, and my little sister was the one who was always up front because she was the one not afraid and not scared. But yeah, we basically formed a little gospel group together, and we would go out and sing gospel music, which is cool. Yeah.
yeah. Well, do your siblings sing now, or?
Yeah, when we get together, definitely for holidays and when we do get together, it's a lot of singing and it's something I guess we'll always do. we can even have an argument. We're arguing, and then all of a sudden, oh, somebody breaks out in a song. We all just jump in, you know. So yeah, we do still sing together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Now, when you started thinking about, you wanted to do it, get serious about it, were your parents real encouraging of you doing it as a career, or did they want you to, did they have other dreams they wanted you to pursue, or?
Absolutely. My parents have always been, and that's one thing I admire about my parents. My parents have always been, you know, they've never been the kind of parents who you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. Of course, parents and they'll make their suggestions on what they think or what they want will like, but at the end of the day, my parents are very, they're going to support what you do as long as it makes you happy. You're not hurting anyone. So, and I think they're proud of the things that I've done, and honestly, I try to do what I do with integrity. I mean, everything I do, I try to do it with integrity. It always comes from a good spot, a good place, you know. If I step in and to do something, it's never a bad. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm not trying to do anything negative. I'm just here to do what I love to do and share, you know.
Right. But they love the gospel. It sounds like they were encouraging of the gospel. Are you still singing some gospel, or?
I don't sing gospel. I rarely get to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rarely get to do it, you know. But of course, when I'm with family and we're around, of course, definitely gospel. We'll do it. Yeah.
Well, what about who was instrumental in getting you to really move forward in your singing career? Was it someone in your school, or who would you say played a big role in that?
Well, you know, throughout the years, there's been many, many, many people who supported me and always kept me encouraged. But in the younger days of definitely my mom and my family, but my mom, she definitely kept us, you know, doing music regardless. So she'd already set the platform. Hey, this is what you do. So, but throughout the years, so many people, I can't say just one person, but so many people have I want to say did service towards what I do, added to it, you know. So
Right. Right. Well, what about the acting? Did you do, because your bio says you've done some acting. Did you do acting in like school when you were young, or how?
I've always loved writing. I write all the time, which people are probably going to find that out really soon because I'm going to be doing a lot of different things with writing. But I love writing, and I would make these stories and stuff, and I like to play the different characters myself. So I've always had this thing where I'm like in my head, I'm this person or that person, and acting out the roles in my head. And you know, eventually I got to the point where I was like, oh, I want to see if I can do it, if I can do it. And actually, my first role was a play I did, and it was like many years ago. And I auditioned for the play, and I wasn't sure if I could act or not. I just felt like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I went, and actually, I got it for my singing because it was you had to sing in a play, and they were like, later
Oh,
on, I found
okay.
out, yeah, oh well, we love the fact that you could sing, so we're gonna we want to put you on. And so then that's when they helped me mold my act, start to get my acting in place. So
Do you get to do much acting now, or are you more focused on the music?
I'm hoping to get to do more acting. Actually, I'm looking at some roles now and some things, and I'm also writing some stuff. So, but I'm definitely focused on the music, and I'm definitely looking into expanding the acting part of it because I like doing that too. It's cool. Yeah.
Right, right. Well, what type of music would you say stood out to you the most when you were younger, when you were getting started? What was your favorite?
For a very long time, it was like the oldies, the R&B soul stuff. I really loved that. Like, you know, I remember watching Stevie Wonder and the Supremes and you know, Sam Cooke and uh, Jackie Wilson, and watching them and hearing their music and just really loving it. And later on, it became more R&B, like the '90s R&B. I really love, like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Vogue, Boyz II Men, all of them. Kind of like, you know, I just loved it. So it's R&B soul has always been a part of what I do and what I feel. But I also love pop. But I love everything actually. Now to this day, I can appreciate a lot of different styles just because it started there. You know.
Right, right. And what was there a pivotal moment in your life that where you had the aha moment and realized that music was going to be your path or to a career, or is it
For
just
me, it's never really a moment. It still hasn't hit me like, it's always a thing that I love to do and that I just do and it connects me with so many people. I'm connected with so many people because of it. I've been so many places because of it. So it's kind of like just waking up in your body and in who you are. It's just a part of the elements of my fabric of what makes me me. So now at this point, it just never sat in that this is just what I'm going to be doing. It's just what I do, and now I've come accustomed to, hey, this is who you are. This is what you do. So you know.
yeah. Well, you mentioned Michael Jackson, and you were influenced by El DeBarge and a lot of them, Michael Jackson. But what was it that you loved most about Michael Jackson? What was he? I mean, I love
Um,
him.
I love Michael's music. I just love the music, the whole stage persona and the music. And I mean, he's a phenomenal performer. Definitely. And I think it always starts with the music for me. When you hear a song that you like, and it's like, and then you see the next level when you look at the show, the performance is like, whoa, okay. So it's just always captivating. Yeah.
Yeah, because he is a great performer. He was, a great performer, and his dancing. I mean, when I watched him, I just loved watching him dance. Everything about him,
About
he
those
was
moves.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like a legend. Do you enjoy the performance, the live performance part versus over just being in a studio recording, or what do you? Some musicians don't like the they don't feel like they're a performer. Are you more of a performer when you're live, or like
Um,
do you like to move on the stage, or
Absolutely. Yeah. I think
okay,
I love my energy. I like being places where I can get the energy from people and give the energy. In the studio you don't get that. It's kind of like you gotta build something that's not there because
right?
you gotta build these scenarios, you gotta get these emotions that's not there. When you're live, you kind of like you can interact with people, you can kind of feel the energy of the room. And I'm an energy person. I love just giving out energy and just having a good time.
Yeah. Well, if I asked you what have been some of the things that people tell you, describe you as, like after they've seen you live, what are some things that stick in your mind? It's okay to say it. You're not being vain. I just think it's good to know.
I just get a ton of compliments about the way I move and just I've heard so many. You said it's okay to be vain. See, I don't know what's being vain and or what's not
Well,
being vain
it's not,
anymore.
and I shouldn't use that word. It's not really being vain. It's not really being vain. It's just, some people are not comfortable saying it, I guess is what I should say. And so it's okay for you to repeat, I guess, what they've said.
Yeah,
Just,
I've gotten to a point now where I realize it's okay to celebrate yourself.
yeah,
Celebrate yourself when you're complimenting on something that you do. It's okay to celebrate yourself. And I was just having this discussion with someone. Like sometimes we weigh ourselves down on like, oh, you should not be saying this about yourself because it looks like you're conceited or you have this ego. But the fact remains you did do this and it was a part of who you are. So it's okay to celebrate yourself and the things you do. So I think that is more the line of where I'm going to take that. But yeah, people always say, they love my energy and the way I move and they just love just people say they can just watch me all night for some reason. So
good. So you
that's
like to
good.
dance. You like to dance
I
and
love
move.
the move. I'm a bit dramatic on stage. So
Okay,
there you
yeah.
go.
See, there
I'm a
you go.
little too dramatic
Traumatic.
sometimes.
No, it's not. And you do have to celebrate yourself. The internet is a great tool. It gives us more exposure, but at the same time, you can get lost in there if you don't toot your own horn. And
True.
so, I tell people all the time, you really do have toot your own horn. You can't wait for other people to do it.
So true. So true. Yeah. I definitely don't do things for uh, the validation from
Yeah,
others, or because I learned a long time ago, trying to seek people's validation, you're never going to be satisfied. It's insatiable, basically. You'll be trying to please someone, and then the next person say, "Oh, do this, that," and it's at the end of the day, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what I need to do, and either you like it or you don't. I'm going to give my best. Forgot that part. I'm going to give my
yeah,
best. And either you like it or you don't. I can't force you to like it. I can't force you not to like it. It's just whatever. If you don't like this, maybe you'll like something else in the future. But at the end of the day, I have to detach from the thought that I have to please people all the time. That's not what I'm in it for, regardless of how successful it becomes or how successful it's not. I'm not here to overcompensate or please people just because they feel like I have to. I'm a person just like anybody else, and I can just do what I can do.
right. Well, you don't need people to validate you. You really don't, and it's real easy to fall into that. So, yeah, it's good that you are aware of that already in your career. But do you have a mentor or vocal coach today that, whether it's a vocal coach or just a mentor, someone, a go-to person that keeps you moving forward? Because we all have bad days or times where we feel like we're not performing or something's not going the way we want it to. Do you have someone like that?
I currently don't have a vocal coach, but I'm probably going to be getting one soon because I've been doing a whole lot of stuff, and I haven't had vocal coaching in so long. I need to get some refreshing. But I will say I have some of the best people supporting me, some of the most sincere, loving people supporting me, and I'm just so honored for that. Like if I'm having a bad day or I feel like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, or blah blah, whatever. The whole spill. It's just I just have the most incredible group of people who either come to the shows or they inbox me or they ask about this song or they just leave comments. I appreciate every little thing, every whatever, because here I am, just a guy who has a vision or have a talent, and I share it with people. And you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to do anything. And so I appreciate the feedback I get, and I appreciate every compliment, everything that comes along with it. I'm just so thankful, and I see people that they're just. I mean, that's my support system. I mean, and I hope that never goes away. So many people have been throughout the years, have had my back and just been there for me, and I really honestly appreciate it.
No, that's wonderful. I want you to share a little bit about your first. In 2006, you released your first underground mixtape album, Life in Evision. I want you to share a little bit about that. And also, I don't know what that means, underground mixtape album. What's the underground part?
Well, underground is the old school way of saying like it's an unsigned. I actually released that CD by myself. Me and I worked with Track Force Production, which was a really close friend of mine. And him and we got together, and I was like, oh, I was just I just wanted to do something because I wanted to do some music. So it was very raw. We went into the studio and we wrote like I think it's 12 songs. I wrote 12 songs, and he produced and I produced, and we got together and made this record, and I called it Life in Evision. And it was released, it was like street copies, like you sell it from like a word of mouth type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like, and just got around. So I was very happy about that record because some of the songs got played on radios, and a lot of people to this day still remember a lot of the content from that, and it was cool then. I can appreciate it now more today than then, because then I was like, I'm doing this by myself and just kind of releasing it. I kind of undervalued it in a way because I know it wasn't perfect, but at the same time, it was still a labor of something I did on my own, and it was big at that time to do that. So I can appreciate it a lot more now, than then. But it's just basically, we released these CDs without a major label, and kind of like got street credit for them, and so that's what it was, and it was a pretty cool project.
And what's the story behind the title, Life in Evision?
Life in Evision is just kind of like a play on my name, Evin. It's like the vision
Okay.
from our perspective. So Life in Evision is just a play on my name that we thought was pretty cool. And but the whole theme of the whole record was about just the ups and downs of love, which typically is what I sing about. So it was really cool. I think I had one song in there I really liked that I wrote about addiction. This person had an addiction to being with a lot of different women or whatever, but he was in this relationship and he loved the person he was with, but he couldn't stop. And it was like, oh, it's like it was saying, I only want to be with you, but I like that one. And it was just fun to write on that. A lot of the stuff on there, it was fun to write on. And what was said, I like that one. It was about this guy who someone's telling you over and over again what they want from you, and you just you can't remember what was said. It's like when you get it's like it's like if you would have just listened, then you would have made it work, so to say.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear about your promotional tour of Japan. When was that, and what did you learn most from that experience?
Well, with that was like, I believe, in 2006, shortly after the Life in Evision CD.
Okay.
Some of the CDs, a friend that took those CDs to Japan, the underground CDs, and it got a lot of recognition there, and a lot of people really liked it. So they got me to do a tour there, and it was a small tour, but it was really cool. And at the time, it was just like, now this was a moment when I got the validation, like, oh, this is really cool. Like, they really want me to come across the country, to another country to sing songs that I wrote, and that made me feel really good. So just honored to have had that experience,
Yeah. What did you take away from it the most? Was it the validation and that?
I just took away that music can take you anywhere. Your music can take you anywhere, and having a dream can take you anywhere. If you dream big enough and you believe in yourself, and just, I know that sounds cliche, but if you really, 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 really put in the work and just put the word out, because one thing I did do is I did put the word out. Now I'll say another thing too. My mom, but like my mom sold a lot of these street copies because she was like, oh, I'm going to support these. So she put a lot of them out there too. But at the end of the day, even when you don't see the value in yourself, other people see it, and they let you know they see it. And I think that's incredible,
Right. No, I agree. And then you recently signed with Sands Entertainment in California. What's
Yes.
that? And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
what's that going to mean? How's that going to help you going forward, or what does it mean for you?
Well, Sands, now get this, it's really cool. It's SANS, Sands, which is Shine and Never Stop. I think that's such a cool name, right? Because it is. It's I think it's definitely descriptive of how I feel. The owner, Vince Kelly, is a great friend of mine, and he's just a cool guy. And his whole idea is just getting out really great music, getting out really great content, and just just lighten up a little bit and just release some music and have a good time, see what happens from it. I think it's going to be a really great, I think we're going to go on a really great journey together. And not just music, we got other avenues in the works as well. So we're so excited about a lot of the projects. I know I released this song called Blue lately. I released a song called What You Want Right Here initially first, and then we released Blue on Sands. And it's gotten some really, really great feedback. It's gotten some play on radio, and it's getting some really great feedback. And we got a whole record we did, and hopefully we'll be releasing that soon. But because there's some great stuff on there. I got to work with 24K and Vince, and I got to produce myself, and I also got to produce with Ian, another friend of mine who plays guitar, is really great. And we got some really cool tunes on there. And I can't wait to share.
Will you have to move out west at some point, or do you think? Or
Um, I don't think I'll be moving out west. I don't know. I go there a lot, so we'll
yeah,
see.
okay,
I've been to record the record. I've been there quite a few times, so
yeah,
um, hopefully I can still do what I do and commute. But
yeah. Well, we need to keep some stars here in the East Coast. We need a East Coast Hollywood, kind of thing.
you
So
know what? It's funny you said that. I'm hoping to build something here soon um, for everybody that would kind of. Well, I'm hoping it will kind of catapult everything into a whole nother direction. So we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see.
yeah. So what do your children think of your music?
Oh my God. My son is actually he does music as well. He's a producer, writer, rapper, and he's coming out with his own material.
Wow.
We just went to Atlanta together to work on some stuff with him. And he's amazing. He's really great. He has his own unique style and he knows what he wants. And one of my friends who worked with me, I introduced him and he was like, when after they met and they did their work together, he was like, man, he's just like you. He comes in, he's shy a little bit. I'm a little bit shy, I can be a little bit shy. I know, and I know I meet people who be like, you can't be shy because I'm always on stage. I'm so, or when I meet people, I'm so open, but at the same time, I'm a bit shy. But he would say, your son is very shy, but he also knows what he wants. And
Yeah.
that's kind of descriptive of me, It's like, he's just like you. But of course, I can't tell him that.
Oh, well, that's great that he's kind of following into your footsteps. What?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool that you can work together, have that in common, So I think that's great. That's really great.
Thank you.
Well, where would you like to see yourself over the next few years? You said you plan to make music timeless.
Yeah, I want to have music that stands the test of time, that people can play years from now and be like, oh, this is still relevant. And I want to be able to do that. So hopefully I'll still be promoting great music in that time frame. But I would like to see myself on a bigger platform and being able to touch people in ways beyond music. Like a lot of people say, oh, they like talking to me about stuff. I feel like I help to resolve stuff, kind of help get to the bottom of things for people, get into the root of things. And I take pride in that. A lot of people are like, oh, you should be a counselor. You should. I love doing it because I'm an unbiased person. I don't, I, if you talk to me and we're talking, I don't look at just what's at the surface. I try to
Right,
look beyond that or give you a different perspective of things like, well, have you thought about this? Or what about this? Or what about the person who thinks this? Because we are all individual people who have our own individual thought. And we're the result of different experiences and we haven't been through the same things in life. So it's impossible for me to be able to identify with you precisely,
right.
because we may have had similar situations, but not identical. So at sometimes you have to consider, hey, well, maybe this person is thinking this, or maybe this person is thinking that, and be okay with letting stuff go. Like in today's society, we hold on to so much stuff that's just
Yeah,
not even necessary. We're holding on to a bunch of clunk, and we're just
yeah,
dragging it along, dragging it along, dragging it along, and we don't need to do that when there's so much joy here. I know for a fact it's joy here because you can wake up in the morning and create it if you don't see it in your everyday. I know I've been watching you and the squirrel.
Oh,
I've been
God.
watching you and the squirrel, and I'm like, this squirrel, I know it's bringing happiness somewhere. It's just a squirrel, but the thought that it's just so cute and it's just bringing happiness. And and just little things in life, you can create the happiness that you need. We can get so frustrated with other people and the way they think and the things they don't think, and to the point where we often forget that this person has a mind to think, they have an individual thought, and it's okay. It's okay for people to think however they think and do what they do, and let's just find joy and happiness. Let's not over worry about what they're thinking. Let's worry about what's going to move you forward and keep you happy. That's what I try to bring to people. Like, try to bring a way to see the silver lining in everything.
Right.
And people tell me, I often hear people say, "Oh, here's Evin. He's always so positive or so or so," and I'm like, why not? Why
I
not? Why
know.
not me? Why not? I have very little worries about stuff. I'm when something happens, my first thought is, what can I do to resolve this, or what can I do? Okay, what do we do next? Because I know the big can't undo is always there. You can't undo stuff. And that's the big thing there. No matter how much you sit and say, "Oh, I wish I would have done this," or "I wish this would have happened," you can't undo it. But you
Right.
still have the opportunity, as long as you got breath in your body, you still have the opportunity to move forward and embrace it with the brightness or with the happiness or with the spirit of wanting to change it.
Right. That's great advice. No, that's
Yeah.
true. So see, you've got something else, another gift that you need to use. So yeah. So
Yeah.
I think your
Thanks.
friends are right. So what's the best thing about being a musician for you in North Carolina or in Greensboro, however you want
um, the best thing about it is, I think, I'm gonna say that the best thing about being a musician here, or locally, is that I can come home
to.
because normally I'm out a lot. I'm in a lot of different cities or states, and I'm doing a lot of private gigs. That's really what I do. I'm always gigging, so I'm doing a lot of private gigs or a lot of different things that I do. But I guess just having a home to come to, um, or but being a musician is just great all around, because you have a way to release yourself, to share your skill, to share who you are, and what you like to do. And it's challenging. It's very challenging. um, and it can also be, I think it's self-reflect. It's a way to reflect on yourself as well, because you got to have tough skin in a lot of areas, or you can dive into a whole lot of stuff. And I
Right.
try not to do that. I try not to embrace that. I'm trying to embrace just growth and learning different things. And I think, and oh, the coolest part, I've come to that part now. The coolest part is the people. Are you kidding me? The people, like, I have sat somewhere and I'm like talking to people, and just it's like an out of body experience. All of a sudden, I'm looking at the conversation. I'm like, oh my god, here's this person, this person, this person. I probably would not have known this person or even talked to this person had not it been for music. So
Yeah.
it's like it's endless, the people you come in contact with, because music joins you. So that's one of the greatest parts about being a musician, is that you get to go in and meet people and talk to people that you probably normally would have never met, and you make them feel a certain way, and that's awesome. Or they express their self to you. "Oh, I'm a musician, I do this," and that's just awesome. Yeah.
No, that's great. That's perfect. Actually, that's a really great connection. Of all opportunities that have come to you, what would you say is your most proud accomplishment so far, and why? And it doesn't have to be anything major. It's something that you feel the most proud of.
I honestly can't say. I mean, I think I've been so proud of every single thing. I mean, I definitely don't take it lightly. Like the comments, the the replies, the shares, the likes, the inboxes. anything dealing with, because nobody has to do it, no one has to do it. So I know it's sincere, and to me, I take none of it lightly. So how big it is, and I've done some pretty cool stuff, some pretty notable stuff, and I've been awarded and all kinds of stuff. But I just approach everything like it's just my first time doing it. It's just all awesome. It's overwhelming in a way. And as things just go up, which I know they will go up, as things go up and up and up, I plan to just remain the same and just be thankful for every aspect of what I do, and hopefully make opportunities and jobs for other people where they can get to live happy and expressing what they love to do.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's a wonderful dream for sure. Do you have a dream place, Evan, that you would like to perform, as someone you want to perform with, or do you have that little dream in the back of your mind that?
I don't have a dream place. I I know this sounds so weird. I'm just such a take it as it
Yeah.
comes kind of guy. Like I'm that guy, and who, okay, I'm here. If I get this, awesome, awesome, awesome. But if it doesn't, oh well, I'm just so happy the fact that I'm able to do. I'm so like I'm easy to please.
Good.
It doesn't take much for me. Like I'm easy to please for real. Like you, I mean, I want. Of course, everybody's gonna always want more,
Right.
but there's no set goal of like this is what more looks like.
Exactly.
I do have a dream and a vision, but like people will say to you, you're supposed to think like this, or you're supposed to want this, or you're supposed to want to be performing at the Super Bowl, or you're supposed to want this and that and this and that. But everybody has their own idea of what success is for them, and you can't tell me that my success is supposed to be what you want for me.
Yeah.
So but for me personally, success is just how you measure it. Everybody has their own way of measuring success, and it's okay to be like, okay, this is what I want, to be okay with that, and not worry um, about the levels of what you're supposed to be, because that can be a bit much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. What would you say has been the most useful tool for you that helps you get your music out in the world today?
Um, I think social media and all it's useful, but it's still kind of confusing because
Yeah.
it's confusing. I don't know a lot of the stuff with social media, so hopefully, so a lot of times I'm like asking questions of what is this, what's that, what needs to be done, all that stuff, because otherwise I'm lost in it, to be honest with you. So currently, for me, I think it's just basically connecting with the people who I connect with, and they've been sharing it as well, sharing stuff, and letting the team do what they do to get it out, and now also you're not able to perform your stuff as much, because of everything's getting back to normal now, but at for a while you're not able to do it in
Right.
that capacity, and you can do it online and stuff, but it doesn't have the same feeling as, what I'm saying. It's like, okay. It's that type of thing. So it's just basically, I think, just social media platforms have been helpful though, because even this interview now, we're connecting, and
Yeah.
we could be across the world and
Yeah.
have the same interview now. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, you get to meet more people and stuff like that. So I guess that's been helpful, you know.
Yeah. But I know you're glad you can start getting out again, because I don't think anything replaces in-person contact. Social media is great, but I think when you can get out and perform and meet people, since you're a people person, and I
Yeah,
like, yeah, so I think it's good.
I was happy for that break though. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
It was so much. It was so much work, and that's great. It's great to be in demand to have work, but it was so much to do. It's always here, there, here, there, which is great. You know, you're building up your money. Yeah, you're connecting with people, having a good time. But I was able to find time to do things that I I learned things that I hadn't done. Like I learned how to not learn how to, but my father's a carpenter. So I actually tried my hand at some stuff. I built some cabinets, some shelves, and just different stuff, and it was so cool. And then I also oh yeah, about the shelves and cabinets. I always overdo something. So I built one and I was like, oh yeah, that came out good. Built another one, then built another one. I was like, I don't even need this stuff. I'm just building stuff to build it. So I'm building all these cabinets and shelves. And I was this close to calling people like, do you need a cabinet or a shelf? Or I'll just do it for you, you know. But nah, and cooking. I love cooking. So I
Oh,
got,
okay.
yes, I love to cook. So I had some time to, try cooking different things. My children, I love to cook for my kids. I really do. Because I remember when they were younger, like, oh, I'm making this, and just watching them eat and just love the stuff you cook. Just felt good, you know? And as they get older and those taste buds change, oh, I don't eat this, or I don't eat that, or I don't like this or
Yeah.
that. That's when it becomes a little more complicated. But still, it's all you always find a way around it and make it. I just love to cook. I really, really do. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I used to cook a lot, and I've kind of gotten out of it, but there was a time I really did like it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
well, I hate to end this today, Evan, but I want to thank you for being here. Is there anything else you want to mention that we didn't cover? Like, how could how can people, uh, get to your new single, Blue, and
Well, check me out on my website, evingibson.com. That's EVIN Gibson.com, which has the link to all my social media platforms. And also, it's online on Apple Music. Check out my work. I got some stuff coming up really soon. And I think you'll like it. I'm pretty sure you will. And yeah, I'm just excited about that. So, yeah, definitely go to evingibson.com. They have a mailing list on there, and just look at the channels or whatever you have on there and subscribe, and our Facebook and Instagram on all that stuff. So definitely check me out.
great, great. Well, I want to thank my viewers for their continued support, and do make sure that you share the YouTube replay of this interview and the ones on social media so that I can continue to celebrate Evan. And definitely check out his website at evingibson.com. And he's also on YouTube, so you can subscribe to him on YouTube. Make sure that while you're over there, you subscribe to Tamarah's Closet so you can keep up with all of my talented guests. And stay tuned for more live interviews, and to your own success, just keep on rocking it and take care.